I'm going to be giving you guys an update. I have been putting this off now for a few months and I've been getting so many questions, especially in the last couple of months over on my Instagram. A lot of people asking me about my transition. Also going to be sharing what I eat in a day. It's a Saturday today, so just be very mindful that I've got a little bit more time on my hands. This is sometimes how I eat in the week. Sometimes I grab and go. Sometimes I eat out. Sometimes I don't feel like cooking. So I just want to put that out there, that what I eat in a day is, don't take them too seriously. Don't base your life on what you see someone else doing. Done. So what I eat for breakfast and the time that I eat for breakfast really varies from day to day. Occasionally I'll have something like still cut oats, and this morning was one of those days. I had soaked some from the night before. I cooked the still cut oats with some coconut milk. I added some cinnamon, some nutmeg, and I topped with some stewed pears and blueberries, drizzled over a little bit of honey, and then I scattered over some bee pollen. So this bee pollen is from my absolute favorite bee product company. They are called Raw Pot. All their products are such high quality. So it kind of just makes sense to do this Q&A. Let's get this Q&A out the way, then I can continue showing you guys what I cook up, what I eat for the rest of my day. I don't want to enter into any food politics, whether you're coming from a keto stance, a paleo stance, a vegan stance, a carnivore stance. Like, just if you want to watch, just please watch and don't be judgmental. Just understand that people go through things, people can adapt, people can change. Someone left a comment the other day, like, I did a plant-based video last week and someone said, this is the Tish that we love. And it's like, yeah, I can still cook plant-based food because I still eat it, but now I'm adding other things and I've changed. Girls changed, okay? So the first question is, how much meat do you eat in proportion to your overall diet? When I first started introducing animal foods, it was very kind of like a slow introduction. So it was just fish. I know some people don't consider fish meat, but let's just put fish in the meat category. Then I started introducing like a little bit of chicken and then like a little bit of red meat. As it stands currently now, for the past 2 months, I have been eating mostly fish with an addition of a little bit of red meat, I'd say once a month. So last night I ate red meat for the first time in, I think it's been about 6 weeks. I will eat red meat when I feel like I need to eat red meat. For the summertime, I just haven't kind of been into it as much. Fish has been like the main thing, and I'd say like I include fish maybe like twice a week or something like that. Right, so the next question is, how did your skin change after changing your diet? So this was like one of the biggest things when changing my diet. I was so fearful that my skin would break out when I started introducing animal foods. I was so fearful that my periods would get worse than they already were. Like, they were pretty heavy and painful. For both things, which came as like the biggest shock, both things have improved dramatically. Like, I no longer get that those hormonal types of breakouts on my jaw and on my cheeks. Adding a little bit of meat into my diet has seen like a tremendous difference in my skin. So I got a lot of questions about supplements. I'm just going to choose one of the questions. So, do you take B12 or vitamin D supplements? So the answer is yes, I take vitamin B12. I take vitamin D3 supplement as well. I am eating foods that are rich in these vitamins, but I just feel, maybe just for safety and because I have been very deficient in the past, that I just want to continue taking the supplements as well as eating the food sources. I just feel, I don't know, I just feel better doing that, like I'm filling in any gaps that might be missing. So I'm continuing to supplement. I also supplement with a fish oil. Sometimes it's cod liver oil and sometimes it's just like a really high quality fish oil. Maybe I'll list those in the description box below because I'll probably get questions about that. I also supplement with vitamin K2, and I'm eating foods that are rich in vitamin K2 such as like raw butter and egg yolks as well. So I'm not really worried about that anymore, but I am definitely supplementing still with vitamin K2, and that was a supplement that I didn't used to supplement with, that I wish if I could go back in time that I would have really researched vitamin K2. It's so important. If you haven't done your research, if you haven't read up about it, and especially if you're not eating any types of animal foods, then please, yeah, just look into that. I think that was like the biggest thing, that was like the biggest downfall in my whole kind of plant-based journey. That was one thing that I wasn't too clued up on, and I wish I had been. So moving on, do you prefer your diet now and do you feel healthier? I think more than the physical changes, which are so important, which I have seen like some really amazing physical benefits, I think the most important thing for me is like the emotional, mental side, and just how I approach food. Like, I'm so much more relaxed now. I feel so much more at ease and just kind of free. Like, I just feel free. Like, there's nothing I'm limited to. Moving on, a different type of question. Did people treat you any different? The actual people in my real life, no, they didn't treat me any different. Like, nobody from my family disowned me because I'm eating meat. None of my friends said like, I can't be your friend anymore because you're eating meat, Tish. Like, nothing like that. Ever like developed any friendships based on what the other person eats or what I eat. I actually have a friend, it's funny because we were kind of transitioning around the same time back to introducing animal foods, and he was vegan. He was so scared to tell his group of friends that he was no longer vegan. Like, he was terrified. And that's just like insane. Your friends and the people that love you should always want to see you in a happy, healthy place. And I have to answer this one. Do you have any regrets in telling people that you are no longer plant-based? Before I actually was about to announce that I'm no longer fully plant-based, there were a few people who were like, are you sure you want to do this? Like, you've got this brand, you've got this amazing brand that you've built, you've worked from the ground up to build. Are you sure you want to do this? Like, is this a good business move? Like, me, it's like, it makes no sense to continue doing something that doesn't resonate, like doesn't feel soulful, like doesn't feel truthful and honest. If I was in a position now where I was eating meat in secret and I had to continue like filming, mentally I would have had a breakdown by now. Like, I know how I am. I wouldn't have been able to continue. It's been a really interesting journey. After I made that announcement, it wasn't like, okay, so everything's just gonna bounce back. And no, it's been like a slow transition of me going through a lot of lows, picking myself up, feeling low again, feeling KO'd, picking myself up again. Literally just had to build a thick skin. I think it's like been a really character building experience. Absolutely no regrets. Even in terms of my business, losing numbers and stuff like that, no regrets. Peace of mind is number one. Integrity is everything. Doing things that are from your heart, doing things with soul is like the most important thing for me. So maybe that's not the most business savvy move, but I don't care. I know that in the long run, being my true authentic self, being comfortable and happy in who I am and being able to express that, that's the most important thing. So yeah. So I'm gonna answer one more question, then we're gonna get on. I'm gonna show you, I'm hungry now. So, would you consider being fully plant-based again? During, I think it was like end of June, beginning of July, for about a 3-week, 1-month stretch, I was actually fully plant-based. There will probably be times in my life where I'll feel like eating a heavier plant-based diet, and there will be times in my life where I'll feel like not eating a fully plant-based diet. I'm just flowing, basically. I'm just flowing, and I will never ever put myself in a place where I say this is solely what I do. Nah, it's not for me. I hope this like Q&A is just kind of like close the door and answer the questions, and hopefully I won't have to continue like explaining, and you know, I'll give you guys like little updates here and there. But yeah, I'm doing what I'm doing now, and that's what I'm doing. So all that talking, I have worked up an appetite, so I'm gonna head to the kitchen, put some lunch together. Right, so we've got some red curry squash. I've been using it to make mash, which I showed you last week in last week's video. I've been loving roasting it as well, and that's what I'm gonna do today. We've got some courgettes. I am in love with them. They won't be around for long, so I am making the most of them. We've probably got about 2-3 weeks of courgettes left. I've got some parsley, which I'll probably make like some type of parsley dressing, salad dressing with, some cherry tomatoes, a cucumber, some broccoli. I'm not sure if I'm going to use that today. And then we've got some eggs as well, which I'm definitely going to use. I think any squash other than butternut squash can sometimes feel a little bit intimidating if you've never cut into one before. I just say use a really sharp knife. Obviously be very careful. And also you don't have to peel it. You can leave the skin on. With most squashes, that's most, you can actually leave and eat the skin. For the past couple of weeks, I've really got into using ghee more often, especially when cooking with high heat. So I'll kind of like alternate between ghee and coconut oil. My friend, she recommended this. Thank you, Jaspreet. Thank you, girl. She recommended this brand. This is a brand called Fushi. But yeah, like I've been roasting squash with it, and it's been so delicious. And that is what I'm about to do now. So I'm going to put a little bit on the red curry squash, and I'm going to put it in the oven. Got got a little dressing here, just lots of fresh herbs, some red onion, Dijon mustard, sea salt, some olive oil. Gonna squeeze some lemon juice in there. Also just put some pesto in that salad dressing. I had some pesto left over from last week. It's in last week's video, so you can go to that video and check it out. Salad of my dreams. I actually made enough so I can have a bowl like this tomorrow. Can I just stop talking? Can I just eat? I'm so hungry. I'm so hungry! I'm about to put together a mung bean dal. So the original recipe calls for lemongrass, which I don't have, but I've got everything else and it will still work without the lemongrass. The lemongrass just gives it an extra oomph, but yeah, we're gonna just work with what we've got. And the recipe is taken from my ebook, which is called Balance. So yeah, if you guys are interested in seeing the full recipe of the dish that I'm about to cook and you're interested in more of my recipes, you can head over to my website and go and check my recipe ebook and ebooks out. So to go with the dal, I also have a piece of fish which I'm going to cook. Right, so here are all the ingredients that I'm going to be using for the mung bean dish. We've got some fresh coriander, lots of juicy tomatoes, making the most of them because they are at their tastiest point right now. Ginger, turmeric and garlic, which I'm going to make like a little quick paste from. I'm going to be adding lots of different spice seeds and some different spice powders as well. I usually use a lime, but I've only got a lemon, coconut milk, chili. I've got the soaked mung beans, which I probably soaked them for a little bit too long because I can kind of see them sprouting. If you guys could smell this curry paste right now, what I did is made up a little bit more, like a larger batch, so I can store some in the fridge. So here we have it, the mung bean dal, which is so good even without the lemongrass. It's just as delicious. And then I've got a piece of hake, which I don't think I've had hake since I've started eating fish again. Oh my goodness, I don't know what made me want to do a dal with fish today, but I'm so glad that I did. It is so good and I'm gonna go and enjoy it. It's kind of late now and I want to edit this video so it's up for tomorrow. Thank you guys for rocking with me. If you're still here, thank you for watching. As always, thank you for the support. Like, comment, share the video, subscribe to my channel, make sure your notifications are on as well. Click that notification button and I will see you guys soon. See you all, bye. Could you take me with you?